This next example is having us look at and analyze the recognition point. So before we go on to the actual example, I wanted to talk a little bit about the recognition point and business transactions. So when we're looking at analyzing business transactions, the concepts of recognition, valuation, and classification all have to be taken into consideration. So we have an economic event that takes place, and we have to look at that economic event and determine when should we recognize that transaction, what kind of value, monetary value for financial accounting are we going to place on that event, and then how are we going to classify it? What accounts exactly are going to be used? So in this example, we're going to be looking at only at recognition. So this is straight from your book. It just talks about what recognition is. And basically, it's just when a company decides to recognize a business transaction, and generally they're going to set policies for their company on how they're going to recognize transactions. So we're going to look at two different situations where a company recognizes transactions on the date they ship, or they're going to recognize the transactions on the date that they are received. So we have Affordable Flower Shop, and they use a large amount of supplies in its business. And the following table summarizes the selected transactions for the company. So here are all of our orders A through F, and we are purchasing supplies for July under each of the following situations. So here's when they're shipped, and here's the dates that they are received. So in the first example, it says this company, our flower shop, recognizes purchases when orders are shipped, which means we then have to record them into our accounting books on the date that they are shipped. So we're looking at for July only. So of all these transactions, which ones would we actually record for July? So if the date they're shipped and we're recording only for July, it means they have to actually be shipped in July. So these transactions here are the ones that we will recognize under that scenario. So what we have to do, because this just wants a total dollar amount of purchases, we're just going to add together all of those amounts here. And if we add that together, we get $5,000. So if this company recognizes their purchases when the orders are shipped, they're going to be recognizing $5,000 worth of supplies. Now, if the company recognizes purchases when they are received, we only want to look at the ones that are received in July. So these first four are the ones that are actually received in July. So under this policy or scenario, the company would only recognize $4,100.